Yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the maker of the amendment be willing to rise for a brief interrogation?
The good gentleman has indicated he will so stand.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, does the maker, in saying that the public will not understand the systems, think that the public in general is just not capable? I have accountants, I have business owners that are able to understand spreadsheets, flow charts, able to understand expenditures and that sort of thing. When I came and when I was running for office in the first place, having worked in the government for over 20 years and seen how the different pots of money, even in the federal government, are misused.
Representative Dush, I'm sorry, I did this to a member yesterday and I apologize. You are certainly entitled to speak on the amendment. If you have a question, though, it's got to be a direct question.
It is, but I'm just my point of clarification.
You have to ask a direct question. I did say it to members on the other side of the aisle yesterday. Please, I have no problem with your speaking on the amendment, but if you're going to ask a question, ask a question.
All right. Mr. Speaker, my question is, if you're stating that the public won't be able to understand the systems, are you saying that accountants that are our constituents, that business owners that are our constituents, are not going to have the mental capacity to be able to actually look at these charts, look at these, and understand them?
Well, there are two things that this amendment does. One is it suggests that certain aspects of the budget are things that are currently done not in the public purview. They're done privately, just like your Appropriations Committee does, our Appropriations Committee does. There's a lot of bills that we all discuss quite a bit before we actually decide to put a bill in. I am suggesting through my amendment here that what the gentleman from York has suggested with his bill is that we take away all of that and we just negotiate out in public before the governor even has a chance to actually present his budget to us. I don't think you're going to get the best budget that you have. The other thing is there's another side to this. It's called the SAP system, which quite frankly, even after all of my years here, I'm not very familiar with. Most of my staff, and I think the staff on the other side, is not very familiar with it. It is highly complicated. It is highly nuanced. It is highly technical and sophisticated. And as a result of that, by just letting the public go into that system, which, by the way, would cost us a lot of additional money to begin with, which I know a lot of people here don't want to spend the money, we would have a situation where we would be giving we would have this particular item available to the public without properly explaining to them how it works and for them not knowing what it's like. As I mentioned in my comments here, it would be giving somebody an NFL football helmet and tell them, okay, here it is. You know what to do with it? Go out and play NFL football. They wouldn't be prepared. So this bill that my colleague has put together is flawed, and this amendment is trying to correct that and save the Commonwealth money.
Mr. Speaker, then, are you saying that most of our approach staff, most of the members don't have the ability to understand the SAP system?
They do not right now. It would cost a lot of money to train people to be able to understand that. I don't understand it. And if I don't understand it, how's everybody else going to understand it?
Respectfully, if the members of this House don't understand it, what are we doing wrong that we should not make this out there in the public so everybody else can see how messed up it is?
It's a very complex system, which I admit I don't understand. My guess is most of my staff doesn't understand it. Probably a lot of the staff on the other side doesn't understand it. and this is something that is very costly also, very costly, and I know how we all want to save money around here, especially some of our good friends on both sides of the aisle. So I would suggest, Mr. Speaker, that I've answered the question, and I would ask you, sir, to please vote yes on my amendment.
Well, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I'd like to ask, why is it so complicated? Why is it that we're in a position where it's so hard to understand?
Sir, my understanding is I think the good gentleman
The interrogation, I
is
believe,
done
has
with
ended, Mr.
interrogation.
On the bills, Mr.
But you may
Speaker?
speak on the bill.
A number of interesting points have been raised here. In our research into this in the Common Sense Caucus, we found how complicated this was. In fact, when I first became familiar with the Ledger 5, it was because the executive branch was shifting money around, hidden from our view. I actually had a forensic accountant come in and take a look at the SAP reports, and his comment to me was, after he had been auditing the state of Florida's tax and budget, he said it's going to take a team of accountants years to figure this out. That's actually the point, I think, one of the points to the maker of this bill's whole intent, is that we've got to get this out there so that everybody can see how screwed up it is. Honestly, if the Appropriations Committee on either party at the amendments maker statement that they don't understand the system by which we undertake the budget process, we've got a serious problem here. We have people, accountants, business owners, who understand sound business practices. It's about time we put that information out there for everybody to see, so that we can have people that have solutions able to come to us and provide those solutions. I ask for your opposition to this amendment and support of the bill. Thank you.